Well, for the one time a year that we really go hard and we really hit the Christmas music, it's great to have that song. That is All I Want for Christmas Is You by Kate Grom. She is going to be our guest today on the Music Mania podcast as we're taking a little detour today, taking a different turn as this is our Christmas edition of the Music Mania podcast, kind of taking time to look at some of our favorite Christmas songs. Kate just has this single out. It is on her YouTube channel, Kate Grom. Definitely look her up. She is an amazing singer-songwriter from New Jersey, kind of by way of Nashville. She's been kind of all over the world. She's written songs. She has an album out called Heroine, which is unbelievable. As I'm trying to, in my 30s, this show. Guys, you listen to the Music Mania podcast, you know what you're going to get. A lot of the time, we could have anyone on this show from JJ French, from Twisted Sister, to Dave Ellefson from Megadeth, from Tom Kiefer to Cinderella. We have had them all. We have definitely delved very deep into kind of the classic, the 80s rock, hard rock, heavy metal category. But here, it is just important to take time to, and for me, as someone, that getting, the older I get, I realize that the more open-minded I am to styles of music, and I love that. I love, songs with introspective lyrics. I love songs that kind of tell a story, and that's what Kate Grom, an artist that was, recently, introduced to me, and it was important to have her on, especially at the holiday season. She's a big fan of Christmas music, and she just did this amazing cover, and truthfully, All I Want for Christmas is one that, of course, Mariah Carey, made famous, and Mariah Carey's always just kind of, that version is universal. Everybody knows that song, but Kate has done a wonderful version of this. It's more of a stripped down, more heartfelt version. I really believe in it, and I believe in an artist like Kate who had her debut album come out about a year ago. It's called Heroine. Please check her out on her YouTube channel, on her website, kategrom.com. I can't tell you how important it is to, for me to at least portray that you need to support these artists that are up and coming today. The music business has been up and down. I'd say at this point in where we are in 2017, heading into 2018, it's probably down. And that's just not me living in the past, because so many of the bands that I enjoy are, over the age of 50. There's not a lot of bands out there today that mean a lot to me, but an artist like this that really came about it, finding her own path. She went on an emotional and a physical and musical journey to get to this point, and that's what her album Heroine represents, and that's what you can see just how genuine she is in this cover of All I Want for Christmas. So please check that out. And we want to go ahead and bring on our guest on this week's podcast. It is Kate Grom. Kate, welcome to the show. How's everything going?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. I'm so sorry I'm a little late in calling. I had a little bit of a last-minute emergency come up.
Well, that's okay. Well, don't worry about it. If we need to reschedule or something, please just let me know. We can make that happen.
Oh, we're good to go now. Thank you so much for your patience, though. I really appreciate it.
Well, absolutely, and it's just a pleasure to have you. I've been getting more into the Christmas spirit lately for two reasons. One, I just saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra the other day. Awesome show as always. And then hearing your version of All I Want for Christmas Is You. I am a huge fan of this song. Mariah Carey's always kind of bothered me, but now, Kate, your version is really good. I'm just being honest. I'm a big fan of this. It's a lot more kind of toned down, a lot more kind of heartfelt, I would say. What was your inspiration for doing this song?
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that feedback. It's great to hear, because the song is new and just starting, to get traction and be available for people to listen to. We really, you said it's more heartfelt. That was kind of the goal when we were looking for the right song. I listened to so much music, and I knew I wanted to take a popular hit and kind of take it back in time to something that was a little more classic in style. And I really felt that this song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, translated really well to that.
Certainly. And was there other songs you thought about doing, or maybe ones you want to do? I mean, are you a fan of Christmas music in general?
Oh my gosh! If you knew me very well, you know that when Christmas comes around, I'm obsessed. I love Christmas. My house right now has so many lights, and there's decorations everywhere. I just am playing music pretty much right after I eat Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, you're one of those. Okay, I get it.
I'm one of those, yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's great. And I tell you that this song is really well done. And I'm a sucker for Christmas music myself. It's something about it just seems to strike a chord. There's something about this time of year. It just all kind of comes together. And of course, after Christmas, I'm like done with snow and ready for summer. But as of right now, I'm still in the mood, still in the spirit. And your song is helping me. So that's great.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that.
You yourself, as I've kind of looked into, your genesis into the music business and what you want to accomplish and the things that you've done. Notice that you were like one thing that stuck out to me is that you one of your kind of the antithesis maybe to you getting into music is finding a bunch of classic rock records in your attic. Kind of go into that because that's kind of how it happened for me too.
Yeah.
It was my uncle's Kiss records, by the way. What was it for you? And kind of talk about your upbringing there in New Jersey.
Yeah, so I grew up on a horse farm in New Jersey, in a very rural area, and I had a awesome Woodstock attending uncle who used to pick me up and my siblings up once a week on the way to school, and on the way home, he would sort of just give us a verbal, verbalization. He'd kind of just always have something to say. He was a chatterbox, and I loved it. And he was a walking encyclopedia of music knowledge and rock and roll history. He had this super eccentric lifestyle. He attended Woodstock every year that he could, and he had great, taste in music. And when the second you stepped in the car till the second you got out of the car, he was talking about music. Specifically, he loved the band America. He loved Led Zeppelin, Patti Smith, being from Jersey, Bruce Springsteen, the Eagles, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Fleetwood Mac. There's just so much great music in the classic rock realm that he exposed me to. And in addition to that, I moved to Nashville later in my life, where I listened to a lot of the Music City sounds of Bob Dylan, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline, Emmylou Harris, a lot of that kind of rootsy and reflective music that had a lot of storytelling behind it. So I have a lot of different music that I grew up listening to, and I really feel that it all kind of came together when it was time for me to define my own sound as an artist.
Well, as I've been delving into your album, which came out last February, it's been 10 months. It's called Heroine, and it is really good. And I'm I'm a rocker, Kate. Like I grew up, like I told you, my antithesis to music was my uncle's Kiss records. We have everyone from J.J. French from Twisted Sister to Dave Ellefson from Megadeth on this show. And here we are talking about what a wonderful album that this is, and it touched me in a way that I can't even really get into. Here we are talking about this album here, which to me kind of sounds just like an emotional journey for you, and I'm sure it was. Songs like Whistle Cry, which is a great video. I was just checking that out on YouTube the other day. Kate, you got to get into this album. It from what I've heard in just a minimal amount of time, I am just really taken back by this, and I know you had to kind of go through a journey yourself to find this sound and to get this album together. Just talk about Heroine and what it kind of means to you.
Yes, and thank you so much for those kind words, by the way. That's really, really nice of you. This record was definitely a journey, and yes, it was emotional. I think that the story behind Heroine is a story that came about from the many places that I have made home over the years. I moved from Frenchtown, New Jersey. I have lived in Nashville, London, and New York City. I spent some time in France, where I really started putting together the album before we went into the studio. So I would say that the landscapes and the art scenes, the people, the culture of those cities were, hugely inspirational to me in creating Heroine. I had been reading a lot of Nora Ephron the year that I was inspired to really, make it known to myself that I was going to do this. I was going to make a record. And there's a quote of hers that says, "Above all, be the heroine of your own life and not the victim." And that really stood out to me. I had been going through a hard time in New York City. I was struggling to support myself, not only as an individual, and supporting myself in that city, but also as an artist. And when I stumbled upon that quote, I was like, there's got to be someone else out there that feels that way, and I have to write a record and start pulling together my own experiences and the experiences of others in all these different settings and these different cities, and start putting that on paper and into a record. So that's kind of how Heroine began.
It's a really good album, and I tell you, maybe it's just my myself kind of getting up there in age. I'm in my 30s now. I'm able to take a more introspective view of music. I go from Girls, Girls, Girls to a song like This Storm, which is amazing on your album as well, and just to maybe somebody, I think I've evolved myself, and just your music has kind of been a kind of a bridge for that for me, just in kind of thinking about my own taste in music, and how that you really think about how lyrics are important and how you can really get lost in a song like This Storm, which I'm a huge fan of that too, and kind of the video that goes along with it. Just there's so many great moments on this album, and I sincerely hope that more people are able to check this out. And I know it's just been probably a whirlwind for you. It's in these last 10 months going out there playing shows. I know you've done several shows out there, and I know you want to just keep this going, don't you?
Absolutely, and you nailed it. It's been a whirlwind, but a really positive one, and an exciting experience.
Well, it absolutely has. I know you got a show coming up here on the 16th, I believe, right before Christmas in Massachusetts, I believe. I mean, you got some more touring plans for the new year. What are things looking like for you coming up here in 2018?
Yes, so in 2018, I hope to start touring again in the spring. So stay tuned for more dates, which I will have up on my website. I've been touring for the last year and a half, 2 years now, I believe, and we have, as you said, one last show this Saturday, the 16th, in Franklin, Massachusetts, at the Black Box Theater. So after that, I take a little break and pick up again in the spring. I can't wait.
Well, you talked about living in Nashville a little bit, and it's a city. It's one of my favorite cities to visit, and I didn't really quite understand until recently just the eclectic nature, just how much diverse music there actually is going on in Nashville. I think you went to Belmont, a school that once actually beat my favorite team in college basketball, and I'll never forget that. So that's how I know who Belmont is. But you went to Belmont, right? So just talk about exactly. Well, I won't hold that against you. Well, just talk about Nashville and kind of the music surrounding it, because as I've gotten to know people that live there, a lot of musicians, from Mick Mars, from Motley Crue, and of course all the country that goes on there. Just talk about Nashville and kind of what it's meant to your journey in music.
Sure. Nashville was sort of where I started writing music myself, and writing it in a modern way. Before I went to Nashville, I was a classical music major at a university close to where I grew up. And actually, it was a small conservatory where I was singing a lot of classical and Latin and sacred music, which I loved, and it had a huge influence in me being able to learn how to arrange music from a technical aspect and sing and arrange vocal harmonies, which are a huge part of my writing now. But I still felt there was some missing link, and that I wanted to connect with people in a way that was relevant today. So with music that was connective today, and I felt sacred music wasn't the right outlet for that. So that's what actually brought me to Nashville. And as soon as I got there, I was just totally overwhelmed in a good way with all of the music at my fingertips. I could go to a show every night, which I often did in a week, and I could, meet friends and start bands and support my friends' bands. It was just, I was living, breathing, sleeping music when I lived in Nashville, and it was incredible, and it had such an impact on my art, and really was inspiring to have a place that was so artist friendly, where I was free to further dive into my voice as an artist.
Well, it is something that, and I think you have just a wonderful voice and just a wonderful sense, and I get a lot of. It almost seems in some of the songs like a little bit of a haunting nature, where you can almost kind of feel your emotional pain that almost led to some of this, and I think that's so missing in music today, because I don't know that, and I know it's out there. I'm not someone that just goes looking for a lot of different things, but when it comes across and I'm able to delve into it like I have yours, just to be able to feel that, to feel what an artist is doing and what they might be thinking, I think that's one of the most important connections in music, and I think it's kind of missing today.
I absolutely agree with you. I think when I turn on the radio or listen to my playlists that come my way, I just there is a lack of emotion I feel in music. Like I feel like the storytelling has changed. Whereas music, decades ago, I feel really was, you were telling a story, you were singing about your feelings, or something, whether it was happy, sad, a moment in time, whatever it was. Now I don't know what exactly the stories are. It seems like there's a hook line that is repeated over and over again, and we're just sort of writing words that just are filler words to get to that hook for it to be a hit. There's really no engaging, you don't really need to engage people anymore the same way. And I knew when I wrote this record, it was going to be hard for me to get a lot of this out, to be that vulnerable in the studio, and then on the stage it's not always easy as an artist. But I feel that it's really important that music that is authentic and a little bit raw is still made.
That's very well said. I completely agree with that. And I tell you, Kate, we are going to be looking for you. Hopefully, in 2018, sometime we can connect. We're here in Kansas City, anywhere in the Midwest. We will definitely come out and see if you come anywhere near here. And I tell you what, KateGrom.com. That is the website. That's where you can get links to buy the album, which is available on Spotify. It's available on iTunes. Heroine, of course, I'm talking about. And the cover, the song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, is on your YouTube channel, Kate Grom. Kate, I tell you what, I just can't tell you how much this has meant to us here, and I just really am very appreciative of your time, and to be able to talk about this, what is a wonderful album and a wonderful single here, All I Want for Christmas Is You. I'm ready for Christmas now. I got my ugly Christmas sweater ready to go for tomorrow, so let's, I hope you have just a wonderful holiday season, and, we got to catch up in the future for sure.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you having me and your positive feedback. It means so much, and it's really been a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk soon, Kate. We'll definitely be in touch, and have a great one, okay?
Thank you. You too. Merry Christmas.
You bet. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Big thanks to Kate Grom for joining us. I am now in the Christmas spirit for sure. What a sweetheart of a young lady. What a just tremendous singer-songwriter she is. The album, of course, is Heroine. You can find it on iTunes, on Spotify, her website, kategrom.com. Of course, you can find all of our interviews, which are archived on our website, musicmaniapodcast.com. We always appreciate you subscribing on iTunes and YouTube. Either way you choose to take in the show, we appreciate it. We hope you guys have a wonderful and safe, happy holiday season. Cannot thank you enough for listening. We will be back after the new year with some big shows coming up. I'm going to be talking about some of the summer tours that are already starting to get announced, some shows that I have coming up personally. So look forward to that in the new year. Some great guests, as always. From the Music Mania podcast, from Clint Schweitzer, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.